indictment, it is also the Scripture, hold firmly, without wavering, to the hope that we confess. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless the United States of America.
The convention was a national showcase for Barack Obama. Tens of millions of people tuned in to watch his acceptance speech. But the Republican convention the following week also drew a huge audience, and its big draw was John McCain's new running mate, Alaska Governor Sarah Palin. By the time the conventions were over, the presidential campaign had been underway for almost 2 years. The general election campaign that followed lasted barely 8 weeks, coinciding with a disastrous collapse in the nation's economy. It was a marathon of speeches, debates, attacks, and negative ads.
He promised better. He lied.
Lies and phony outrage and swift vote politics.
He's out of ideas, out of touch, and running out of time.
With all these negative ads and personal attacks.
The fundamentals of our economy are strong, but these are very, very difficult times.
This morning we woke up to some very serious and some troubling news from Wall Street.
Tomorrow morning, I'll suspend my campaign and return to Washington.
My hope is that the debate goes forward. I intend to be there. We have to use our military wisely.
We are winning in Iraq.
I want to provide a tax cut.
Let's not raise taxes on anybody.
Nice to meet you. Hey, can I call you Joe?
Joe the plumber.
Joe the plumber.
You become increasingly adorable. Is that fair to say?
I don't know. Is it?
We never give up. We never quit.
This is where change begins.
Just 1 day before the election, Obama received devastating news. His maternal grandmother, Madeline Payne Dunham, had lost her battle with cancer at the age of 86. Before her death, she had cast an absentee ballot for Barack Obama.
I'm fast. That's why I use the BlackBerry Bold with AT&T 3G speed. I can surf the internet fast, download attachments fast, and send them to my colleagues. Fast. Excuse me for a sec. It's good to be fast!
Only AT&T has the new BlackBerry Bold. The fastest BlackBerry ever. Only on the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T.
Once you switch to Swiffer Wet Jet, you'll never go back to your old mop again.
I got a delivery from a Mr. Mop.
Baby, come back! Swiffer Wet Jet Starter Kit has a multi-purpose solution and thick absorbent pads to clean better than a mop or your money back. Guaranteed.
Candygram.
Lunch is ready.
Dragging yourself to eat lower sodium soup? Try Campbell's Healthy Request Soups.
Oh, yeah.
All made with lower sodium natural sea salt.
What's that taste? Taste. I like the taste of taste. It's tasty. It is tasty. It really is. It's good. It's so good.
I was getting depressed because of all the stress I was feeling at home. Had a poor credit score and the number would haunt me wherever I go. Thought I'd move to a place where my credit could stink and nobody would care. I just wish that somebody had told me that place was a Renaissance fair. FreeCreditReport.com. Tell your friends, tell your dad, tell your mom. Never mind them and singing our songs since we first showed up with our pirate hats on. If you're not into fake sword fights, 20 slippers and green wool tights, take a tip from a knight who knows. FreeCreditReport.com. Let's go!
Offer applies with enrollment in Triple Advantage.
We've come to One Card Lab's new Triple Rewards. Me and the lads are having a tough time deciding which category to choose. Like Triple Rewards on electronics. Or gas and groceries.
10 items, Bob.
Maybe Triple Rewards on restaurants and entertainment. or travel.
Introducing triple rewards of your choice. Log on to CardLab at CapitalOne.com to personalize your card.
What's in your wallet?
Good morning, Election Day. After a hard-fought battle, it all boils down to today. Two men, two parties.
Finally, November 4th had arrived. Election Day. Obama's get-out-the-vote operation kicked into high gear, and across the country, by the millions, Americans cast their ballots.
I voted.
For weeks, Obama had been leading in the polls, but recent history had taught Democrats to be wary, and suspense about the outcome remained high. Then, at 11 p.m. Eastern Time that night, as polls closed in Oregon, Washington, Hawaii, and California, Barack Obama went over the top. He'd been elected the 44th President of the United States. 11 p.m. on the East Coast. We're back on the air, and we have news. There will be young children in the White House for the first time since the Kennedy generation. An African-American has broken the barrier as old as the Republic. An astonishing candidate, an astonishing campaign, a seismic shift in American politics. You are looking at the 44th President of the United States. The celebrations begin at 11 p.m. on election night. Let's listen to Grant Park in Chicago.
This is just an unbelievable moment. Just watching it is a great victory for our nation and for democracy. I certainly think that even those persons who don't agree with Senator Obama's policies or politics or maybe across the aisle, I think we need to put all of that aside for just a moment and acknowledge all the blood of our ancestors and forefathers of all races who have fought for justice and freedom, to see it materialize in the embodiment of this logo, as it were, that symbolizes something so much bigger than Senator Obama.
Barack Obama did it. It looks like with 284, as of this hour, 284 electoral votes. He did it with the coalition you've been watching on the screen. Young voters, minorities, they're hearing our voices on the big screen along with them. If he is the new face of America, they are too, and he represents them.
I'm 3 weeks into being a guy with diabetes. I feel much more focused about what's important. And what is important? My wife, my family, myself. The meter plays a critical role in my life because it gives me information.
One Touch, a simple way to check your blood sugar.
I have one child, a daughter, 4.5. I'm going to dance at her wedding, and I'm going to go to her 40th birthday party.
More power to you.
A decade ago, Hyundai pioneered America's best warranty to show you the faith we have in our cars. Today, we're introducing Hyundai Assurance to show you the faith we have in you. Right now, buy any new Hyundai, and if in the next year you lose your income, we'll let you return it. That's the Hyundai Assurance. An automaker that's got your back. Isn't that a nice change?
Visit HyundaiUSA.com for details. Attention. Millions of painkiller patches containing the highly potent drug fentanyl have been recalled from the market. Symptoms of a fentanyl overdose include respiratory distress, shallow breathing, fatigue, sleepiness, confusion, dizziness, or fainting. If you were hospitalized or someone you know has died after using a painkiller patch, call our lawyers now for a free consultation. Call 800-280-4260. That's 800-280-4260.
When you are wrongfully injured through no fault of your own, life can be tough. Oasis Legal Finance is the #1 choice to provide clients the money they need for bills and living expenses long before their case may settle. Call Oasis now. If you're approved, you could have a check in as little as 24 hours. And remember, there's no obligation to repay if you lose your case. Please make sure to have your attorney's information and call Oasis now.
Tuesday,
The new dawn of American leadership is at hand.
Barack Obama becomes the 44th President of the United States. Brian Williams reports live from Washington, D.C. A special edition of NBC Nightly News with limited commercial interruption. Brought to you by Audi. Progress is beautiful.
The inauguration of Barack Obama, all day Tuesday on MSNBC.
I'm Dan Klepper, and here's what's happening. On Sunday at the Lincoln Memorial, President-elect Barack Obama told a crowd of hundreds of thousands anything is possible in America. He'll be sworn in as the nation's 44th president on Tuesday. The U.S. Airways plane has been moved by a barge to a New Jersey marina where investigators will take a closer look at the wreckage there. Investigators say the plane simultaneously lost both engines when it hit a flock of geese. Now let's go back to Yes We Can, the Barack Obama story.
Tom Brokaw, you want to take a crack at words?
I'm not sure anyone can. This is a very emotional moment for everyone in this country and for the world for that matter. This is not just a moment in American history. This is a profoundly important passage out of the deep shadows of our racist past that began with that first slave offloaded on a ship. Race has been a curse for America for a long time. We have been working our way through it. And this young man that Andy Young calls a planetary leader, not just a civil rights leader, bright, articulate, instinctive, and cool, comes to us at a time when America had been so polarized, in its political arena especially. Politics had become so exclusionary. And he invited everyone in. The first time we heard him on a national stage, he said, there are Boy Scouts in red states and Boy Scouts in blue states. There's a God in a red state and a God in a blue state. It's the United States of America. And it was an unlikely journey when he began. But it's a great commentary on this country and its determination to move forward. That it rallied behind him during a time of extraordinary stress and believed in his message of hope. It's important that he has all those people because he's going to need their help.
In trying to figure out in advance how we would cover this moment, I thought of two things. Number one, the great David McCullough's scholarship on John Adams, that image he painted for us of the Adamses moving into the White House, where the plaster above the fireplace was still being finished by slaves. And number two, I thought of the man standing by to talk to us tonight, a guy who came within an inch of his life during the civil rights struggle, beaten bloody during that struggle, Congressman John Lewis. And Congressman, you are so kind to stand by with us and watch with us. You are the one man we wanted to talk to if and when this news broke tonight. And I guess they wouldn't have called it a struggle had it not been just a monumental effort that started in your time and continues to tonight.
Well, I must tell you, this is unreal, it's unbelievable, but I tell you, the struggle, the suffering, the pain, and everything that we tried to do to create a more perfect union, it was worth it. I just don't know how to express myself tonight. I'm overwhelmed by the success of the American people. This is not just a victory for Barack Obama, but this is a victory for the American people. It is saying something not just about our past, but our present and our future.
I was just going to ask who it makes you think of. What are some of the names? What are some of the faces flying through your head right now?
Well, I think especially on Martin Luther King Jr. I was 15 years old when I first heard of Dr. King, growing up in rural Alabama, and later I met him and got involved in the civil rights movement. And I can recall when he stood on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial 45 years ago and said, I have a dream today, a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I think of President Lyndon Johnson when he introduced the Voting Rights Act in 1965. And near the end of that speech, as he spoke to the Congress and spoke to the American people, he said, and we shall overcome. I was sitting next to Martin Luther King Jr., and Dr. King had tears coming down his face, and we all cried a little. And Dr. King said, we will make it from Selma to Montgomery, and the Voting Rights Act will be passed. I think about President Kennedy, who gave us so much hope. I think about Robert Kennedy and the countless individuals that stood in those unmovable lines in Selma. I think about those 3 young civil rights workers in Mississippi, 2 whites from New York and an African-American from Mississippi who was beaten, shot, and killed. So some people gave their very life, and some of us gave a little blood to make tonight possible. It is a night of gratitude. I tell you, I feel more than lucky, but I feel very blessed to live to see this day.
How do you feel about your country, Congressman?
I feel so good about my country, our country. It's only in America. Only in America. Just think a few short years ago, in this part of America, people couldn't even register to vote. They have to pass the literacy test, pay a poll tax. And today, these same individuals use the power of that simple vote to help elect the next president of the United States, an African American, a young man who will be a great leader, not just for America, but for the world. I'm very, very proud of my country tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next First President of the United States of America.
Barack Obama's first appearance as president-elect came at Chicago's Grant Park before a massive, joyous crowd numbering in the hundreds of thousands. Millions more watched on television across the country and around the world. People knew they were witnessing history in the making.
If there is anyone out there who still doubts that America is a place where all things are possible, who still wonders if the dream of our founders is alive in our time, who still question the power of our democracy, tonight is your answer. It's the answer told by lines that stretched around schools and churches in numbers this nation has never seen, by people who waited 3 hours and 4 hours, many for the first time in their lives, because they believed that this time must be different, that their voices could be that different. It's the answer spoken by young and old, rich and poor, Democrat and Republican, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, gay, straight, disabled and not disabled, Americans who send a message to the world that we have never been just a collection of individuals or a collection of red states and blue states. We are and always will be the United States of America. It's the answer that led those who've been told for so long by so many to be cynical and fearful and doubtful about what we can achieve, to put their hands on the the arc of history and bend it once more toward the hope of a better day. It's been a long time coming, but tonight, because of what we did on this day, in this election, at this defining moment, change has come to America. The road ahead will be long. Our climb will be steep. We may not get there in 1 year or even in one term. But America, I have never been more hopeful than I am tonight that we will get there. I promise you, we as a people will get there.
I completely understand, Dave. That's why I asked you to come in.
I've just been watching the news, following the market, and, well...
You're concerned, of course. Just don't let your emotions get in the way of your long-term goals.
Yeah, I know.
My experience in this kind of a market, we should take a look at your portfolio and make sure your investments still fit your goals.
Thanks, Bill. And thanks again for meeting so early.
Edward Jones Financial Advisors. Over 10,000 offices. One near you.
Everything surprised me. The way I look, the way I feel. I'm Dan Marino, and I lost 22 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Get real results with the all-new Nutrisystem for Men.
Hey, I'm at my playing weight now. Losing never felt so good.
The all-new Nutrisystem for Men has over 170 menu items to choose from. And with 80 brand new foods, Nutrisystem delivers more variety, all new programs, and tons of new choices. Now it's easier than ever to customize a program that fits your needs.
With Nutrisystem, you can eat like a man and lose weight. I'm the guy that likes to eat pasta and burgers. You know, man food. Big taste, bold flavors, hearty meals. Real food for real men.
Order the all-new Nutrisystem for Men today and lock in 2008 prices for all of 2009. You'll get 4 weeks of hearty meals for as low as $12 a day. That's 140 rib-sticking meals. Order now and you can get 1 full week. That's 35 of your favorite menu items absolutely free. That's over an $80 savings.
No counting, no measuring, no weighing in. What guy has the patience for that?
Nutrisystem costs less. Hundreds less than other weight loss programs. Even $55 a month less than many Americans spend on food. That's a savings of $660 a year.
Do you want to get back in the game? With Nutrisystem, you can do it. Look at these guys. They're real men who lost a ton of weight. You can too. Real results guaranteed. Look at me. I lost 22 pounds.
Order our 4-week men's program now and take advantage of our incredible lock-in pricing offer. Plus, you can get an extra 35 menu items free. That's over $80 back in your wallet.
If Nutrisystem works for me, trust me, it'll work for you.
Hey guys, get off the couch. Order now and lock in 2008 prices for all of 2009. This incredible limited time offer ends soon. Start losing weight. Call or click now. Do you smoke? Smoking's dirty, disgusting, but most of all, it's deadly. According to the British Medical Journal, smoking 1 cigarette takes 11 minutes off your life. Tens of thousands of smokers have their lives back with all-natural Final Smoke. And you can too.
I smoked a pack a day for about 25 years.
My doctor had told me you either quit smoking or you will die.
Don't waste time with gums and patches.
When I tried to quit in the past without Final Smoke, I constantly craved cigarettes.
All-natural Final Smoke will help you address the cravings and addiction without nicotine.
Right away, I noticed like I had absolutely no cravings. The Final Smoke took all of them completely away.
Final Smoke guarantees you'll be smoke-free and completely satisfied or your money back.
If you are ready to quit, Final Smoke is the answer.
I took my Final Smoke.
Don't let smoking shorten your life. Are you ready to quit? Call now or log on to get your Final Smoke. Tens of thousands have used it. It's all natural, fast, and easy. Guaranteed.
Let me ask you, as we conclude this program this morning, about whether you and Michelle have had any discussion about the impact that you're going to have on this country in other ways besides international and domestic policies. You're going to have a huge impact culturally in terms of the tone of the country. Who are the kinds of artists that you would like to bring to the White House?
Oh, well, we have thought about this because part of what we want to do is to open
open up the White House and remind people this is the people's house. There's an incredible bully pulpit to be used when it comes to, for example, education. Yes, we're going to have a education policy. Yes, we're going to be putting more money into school construction. But ultimately, we want to talk about parents reading to their kids. We want to invite kids from local schools into the White House. When it comes to science, elevating science once again, and having lectures in the White House where people are talking about traveling to the stars or breaking down atoms, inspiring our youth to get a sense of what discovery is all about. Thinking about the diversity of our culture and inviting jazz musicians and classical musicians and poetry readings in the White House so that once again we appreciate this incredible tapestry that's America. That I think is going to be incredibly important, particularly because we're going through hard times. And historically, what has always brought us through hard times is that national character, that sense of optimism, that willingness to look forward, that sense that better days are ahead. I think that our art and our culture, our science, that's the essence of what makes America special, and we want to project that as much as possible in the White House.
Yeah. How do you stay in touch with the flow of everyday life? When we were on vacation in Hawaii, I was greatly discouraged from going body surfing. Going to get shave ice was a major ordeal.
Were you told not to walk outside without your shirt on?
Well, I learned of that after the first day. But I think that
was that an embarrassment to you, or do you care? You got a lot of commentary about it.
It was silly, but silliness goes with this job.
How did it feel to be there with the former presidents today, and what can you learn from them, especially the current President Bush, who you criticized so strongly in the campaign?
Well, first of all, President Bush has been incredibly gracious. The transition, I think, has been as smooth as any we've seen in history, partly because President Bush and Josh Bolton and his team have worked very closely with ours. And all of the former presidents, as well as current President Bush, I think, have a unique understanding of both the pressures and possibilities of that office. And so they gave me good counsel, not just on specific issues, but more importantly, some of the typical problems that you may end up confronting in the office. How do you make sure that you get good information? How do you make sure that people aren't just telling you what you want to hear? How do you make sure that people are thinking as a team instead of promoting their own individual agendas? And so I found it very helpful. All of them had insights that I hope to apply when I'm president.
As Lincoln said to a nation far more divided than ours, we are not enemies, but friends. Though passion may have strained, it must not break our bonds of affection. And to those Americans whose support I have yet to earn, I may not have won your vote tonight, but I hear your voices. I need your help, and I will be your president too. And all those watching tonight from beyond our shores, from parliaments and palaces, to those who are huddled around radios in the forgotten corners of the world, our stories are singular, but our destiny is shared. And a new dawn of American leadership is at hand. This is our moment. This is our time to put our people back to work and open doors of opportunity for our kids, to restore prosperity and promote the cause of peace, to reclaim the American dream and reaffirm that fundamental truth that out of many we are one, that while we breathe, we hope, and where we are met with cynicism and doubt and those who tell us that we can't, we will respond with that timeless creed that sums up the spirit of a people. Yes, we can. Thank you. God bless you. And may God bless the United States of America.
The Obama campaign, from its graphics and slogan to the speeches delivered every day for the better part of 2 years, was all about hope. Barack Obama's supporters repeatedly chanted, "Yes, we can." Obama himself quoted his own political hero, Abraham Lincoln, in urging us all to call on the better angels of our nature. It's just an accident of history that the start of Obama's presidency coincides with the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth. It's just a coincidence that Obama accepted his party's nomination on the 45th anniversary of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s most famous speech. By getting elected president, Obama was given the opportunity to realize the dream in Dr. King's speech and to fulfill the hopes expressed by Lincoln. That's the beginning. Now comes the hard part. For all of us at NBC News, I'm Brian Williams, and thanks for joining us.
The perfect hot wire getaway. Shop till you drop. Relax by the pool. At a 4-star hotel for a 2-star price from hotwire.com. When hotels have unsold rooms, they use Hotwire to fill them, so you get them at prices lower than any other travel site. Guaranteed.
In our society, it's that he spoke as if our society was static, as if no progress had been made.
I know I'm listening to history. I know it. I know that in the book, they'll go back and they'll reference to the speeches of Barack Obama. I know it. Oh, I love that.
I happen to have a different opinion. I think that it was almost a finger-wagging, kind of an arrogant speech. But it seemed to do the trick for most people.
But it is where we start. It is where our union grows stronger. And as so many generations have come to realize over the course of the 221 years since a band of patriots signed that document right here in Philadelphia, that is where perfection begins.
I think he had to take a step back and gather himself. I think he did it in a great way with that speech. I think that speech that he came out with was extremely profound. I think he was able to take the conversation to the next level.
The next level for Barack Obama awaits him at the White House gate. But it's the endorsement of party crossing Colin Powell that's reserved for our bonus moment on the campaign countdown. Former Secretary of State Colin Powell added to the mix of Republicans jumping ship when he made this Obama-backing announcement.
He is a new generation coming into the world, onto the world stage, onto the American stage, and for that reason, I'll be voting for Senator Barack Obama.
When you think about the fact that a staunch Republican like a Colin Powell would offer an endorsement to the opposite of his party affiliation, that's a major, major statement to this country.
Can I just say, Colin Powell, Colin Powell, Colin Powell, I love him so much. I think it's awesome that he has endorsed Senator Barack Obama. And plus, both of them bringing light skin back. So it's a beautiful thing.
Election Day 2008 will always be a day to remember as Obama's journey to the White House leads Americans to a new day.
America! Hey! America!
Great day.
Of Yosemite Valley, of course, which happens to be in California, by Thomas Hill, strange, a 19th century painter that I very much love. It's on loan from the New York Historical Society, so it kind of binds New York and California. As the country struggled to emerge from the turmoil of the Civil War, many Americans looked west for the dawn of a new era. In tune with his times, President Lincoln signed the Yosemite land grant in order to protect the majestic wild beauty of the area. Thomas Hill painted the grandeur and the beauty of the American West that captured America's essence, our land of opportunity, optimism, and freedom. It is now my privilege to ask Dr. Barry Black, the chaplain distinguished of the United States Senate, to deliver the invocation, after which lunch will be served. Dr. Black. Thank you.
Let us pray. Lord of all nations, whose kingdom is above all earthly kingdoms, and who judges all lesser sovereignties, look with favor upon President Barack Obama, Vice President Joseph Biden, and members of the cabinet. Empower them with the wisdom, courage, and strength needed for our times, and protect them from any moral arrogance that obstructs the making of a world of justice, peace, and righteousness. Infuse them with a passion to act in ways pleasing to you. Lord, preserve their families in health and strength by your mercy and power, and may they find your grace sufficient for every need. We ask also that you would shower your blessings upon the American people. Give us the wisdom to support our new president with our prayers, patience, and perseverance. Bless now this luncheon and the nourishment we receive from your bounty. We pray in your sovereign name. Amen.
Couldn't help but put that California reference in there, could you? With the painting, yeah.
Well, we are not invited to lunch, so we'll take another break here. But we've got a lot more still to come. We're going to talk more on this. We're going to talk about the fashion piece of this because you know people are talking about the dress that First Lady Obama is wearing today, and we'll get to that and so much more after this.
Yes, we can.
This program brought to you in part by CSX. How tomorrow moves.
A single Jean then might have been 19. She fit in right away with the very eclectic group of students and graduate students. She observed, I would say, more than spoke, but that also had to do with her character, her personality. She was much more reserved than Barack Sr. was.
She was one of the hardest working people I've ever met. She seemed to effortlessly get an enormous amount of work done, never seemed hurried or flustered. She was just outstanding as a student and as a person. And I think this is the way Barry grew up, knowing you had to work and help people.
I don't recall whether there was ever an announcement that they were going to be married, but then they appeared one day and they were married. I think they had gone to Maui to get married and had a brief honeymoon. They were students after all. I remember after he was born, of course, here was this beautiful baby. He was a beautiful child. Barack was quite proud. His father left soon after his birth for the mainland to go to school, to continue his studies. And at that point, it became clear that Anne would not accompany him. She and Barack Jr. would stay behind. He was a calm child, always had a smile on his face, playful and joyful. He was truly and deeply loved by his grandmother and his grandfather. And his grandfather went everywhere with him. There is no doubt that his father may have been absent, but there was a male figure in his life, and his grandfather, that I think helped to give him the kind of character that he has today. His grandmother is a remarkable story, a remarkable woman, one who set very, very high standards. She was very persevering, very, very smart, very, very tough. She was seen as a standard bearer for women at the time.
When Barack Obama Jr. was 6 years old, his mother married another foreign student, Lolo Soetoro, who moved the family to his homeland of Indonesia, where Obama's sister Maya was born. While there, he made friends at school and learned to appreciate Indonesian culture, but struggled with the language. His mother woke him at 4 a.m. each morning, which gave him the foundation for his future academic success. After 3.5 years, Obama's mother decided to send him back to Hawaii for a better education opportunity at an elite prep academy.
People who wanted the very best for their children in terms of a private school education aspired to get their children into Punahou.
I met Barry on the first day of 5th grade. He was somebody who always had a very big personality. He was always smiling. He was somebody that everybody liked and everybody responded to. Even in 5th and 6th grade, you could tell that he was a special person.
I had him from September of 75 until he graduated in June of 79. So that was freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year. He was very articulate. He spoke well. He wrote well. He never got in trouble, not that I recall. He never got any interims. He was very polite. People were sort of gravitated towards him. He was very charismatic. Then people have asked me, well, did you ever think he'd be president? No, but I knew he would be successful.
During his high school years, Barack Obama developed a lifelong passion for playing the game of basketball. As a proud member of the Punahou varsity basketball team that won a state championship in his senior year.
I best got to know him when we were playing grade school basketball. He could bring it, but it was always within the game. And to see him rise to such heights it's been amazing. But it's not something that I would say that wow, I never thought he was capable of that. He definitely was capable of that. He had an intellect and just a worldliness that really stuck out, and just his engaging personality and just make you feel very welcome.
Barack Obama graduated from high school in 1979, and he was now ready to leave the island home that shaped his core values.
Growing up here in Hawaii, it's such a diverse culture. It allowed him the opportunity to grow and to observe this and to see how people from diverse backgrounds and different cultures and ethnicities could work in harmony and could get an appreciation for each other.
He is the American dream. What he was able to do and what his family sacrificed, it just really shows that things are possible, and it's not just, saying you can be anything you want, but really seeing somebody achieve that. If you were going to bet on somebody from that just by their bio, he would have been somebody that you probably would have overlooked. But what you would have overlooked is his heart and his character. And that's what we saw back then. That's what I see now.
I remember this lady, she wanted to surprise her husband because he's a big, huge football fan, to make up for the fact that he made the ultimate sacrifice. He had to sell his season tickets in order to pay for the wedding. She wanted to give him the experience of being at the game at home. As I was showing her this stuff, she was like, oh my God, he's going to love this. She got like a 60-inch. It was a nice 60-inch shoe. I could imagine him just walking in and all of a sudden eternity to see this huge screen. 2 weeks later, they came back and he was just like, thank you. Just another love story at Best Buy with the 60-inch TV in the middle.
I'd like the sirloin, chicken and pork too, all wrapped in bacon, and all for around $10.
No other place can match Golden Corral's new Applewood Grill. Sizzling sirloin, chicken, and pork, all wrapped in Applewood bacon, all for around $10. Only at Golden Corral.
Medea
Is back.
Hey, I said yeah.
And on February 20th, she's going to jail.
You better back up out my face. What you gonna do?
Tyler Perry's Medea Goes to Jail, rated PG-13, in theaters everywhere, February 20th.
Out of many, we are one.
Claire Underwood hosts Barack Obama, The Man and His Journey, tonight at 9.
Welcome back. I'm Roland Martin. Although many people think President Barack Obama was created on that night in 2004, when he delivered his unforgettable speech at the Democratic National Convention in Boston, he was in fact born in Honolulu, Hawaii in 1961. We all know about his black father from Kenya, his white mother from Kansas, and his caring grandparents. But for the next few minutes, let's take a look at some of the other people who had an impact on his upbringing. Our TV1 presentation of Believe, the Barack Obama story, continues. With his mom's encouragement and carrying her pioneering spirit, Barack Obama decided to attend college on the mainland, enrolling at Occidental College in Los Angeles for 2 years, and later transferring to Columbia University in New York City, a prestigious Ivy League institution. There he developed more self-discipline and concentrated intensely on his studies, pursuing his strong interest in politics and international affairs. He graduated with honors in 1983. After college graduation, Barack Obama headed to Chicago to become a community organizer, saying he wanted to organize folks at the grassroots for change. Chicago was at the forefront of black politics in America, the home base of many African-American leaders. As director of the Developing Communities Project, Obama worked in low-income areas in the heart of Chicago's South Side.
The African-American community in Chicago is a wonderful community. There's a very strong tradition of a black business community that is vibrant and working hard, and they've been extraordinarily helpful to me.
Well, I first met Barack Obama about 23 years ago. He had just been hired as a community organizer for the Developing Communities Project. Barack came in to our meetings one by one. He sat down with every pastor individually, and then Barack would ask us, what do you think is important? How do you see the issues? And he would listen. And then he would pull all of us together, and we would, each of us, express our ideas and our opinions, and quite literally, he would just write them down on the blackboard and say, now, which one of these can we most agree on?
It was a wonderful opportunity for me. I had a great education working with church groups, unions, and we set up job training programs and after-school programs for youth. And as a consequence, I think, grew up and became a man in that work. And I also learned that ordinary people can do extraordinary things when they're given an opportunity. So ever since that time, not only have I been interested in public service, but I've always been interested in how do we bring more people into the process and get them more involved.
When Obama started as a community organizer, the first thing that you're taught is that before you can lead, you have to actually listen. That the secret to being able to lead and inspire large numbers of people is to know what they need change in their life. It's a very powerful skill for the most powerful person in the world to have, and it's what makes him different from so many others.
Barack was able to get a jobs training center established in the heart of the economic district. So those who had lost jobs in steel mills could be retrained and then sent back into the marketplace to fill the available jobs. Obama came in and helped the community to put pressure on the Chicago Housing Authority. And that was a successful project on his part. It actually used the job training center to train residents in Altgeld Gardens in asbestos removal. So the very people who were living in those housing projects were able to get jobs cleaning up the very place that they lived.
If you work in communities, you learn about people. You learn not only what their real problems are, but you also learn about how to bring them together to accomplish an aim. What being a community organizer, I think, also teaches people is how to do a lot with a little.
You know, I know that my commitments to the community in terms of jobs and healthcare, education, those are commitments that have been a constant. The ebb and flow of attention or press is something that is nice, but it's not something that I count on. But what I really like is just working with the community. It's something that I've enjoyed and something I've been doing for my entire life now.
Believing that he could do more for his community by continuing his higher education, Barack Obama entered the prestigious Harvard Law School in 1988.
The first time I saw Barack Obama, though, made an indelible impression on me. I decided to go on from Harvard College, Harvard Law School myself. And in September 1990, Barack Obama was one of the orientation speakers at Harvard Law School.
Barack and I first met at Harvard Law School. The funny thing about Harvard Law School is that the library is full, but the gym is empty. And I was playing basketball, and in walked this tall, skinny guy named Barack Obama. For the next 3 years, we virtually played ball all the time. At Harvard Law School, the basketball gym is right next to Harvard Law Review. When he had a little respite or opportunity, he'd go over to the gym. I looked up to him, not just because he's taller than I am, but also because he had been out in the workforce for 5 years. He'd already been doing public service. He was someone that was in graduate school that knew why he was there.
In his second year, he received national media attention by becoming the first African-American president of the Harvard Law Review.
What was interesting about Barack Obama was that he represented someone who had enormous ability, enormous talent, but yet was still down to earth. Everyone at Harvard Law School knew who Barack Obama was, and that's not always the case with the Harvard Law School president. You would think that the first black president of the Harvard Law Review would be sucked into all these controversies, and you would think if he somehow avoided the controversies that he would get tagged or branded as someone who had sold out, quote unquote. The incredible thing about this guy is that he managed to navigate those very difficult waters without offending anybody.
It's the simple fact of he was the best student, the best in terms of scholarship, and the best in terms of his ability to rally other people to support his candidacy for president of Law Review.
Claire Essence introduces Chimere, a revolutionary new skincare product for men of color to treat and prevent razor bumps caused by shaving. Chimere's bump control and aftershave gel contains natural fruit acids to soothe and condition the skin. Chimere helps to remove ingrown hairs which cause bumps, irritation, and blemishes. So set your sights onto a new you with Chimere, brought to you by Claire Essence. Part proceeds are donated to charities helping children with AIDS.
Hi, can I take your order, please?
Hi. Yeah, could I have a half-pound burger and fries? And actually make that a large fries, large chocolate shake, 2 apple pies, and a large onion ring.
Just go up to the window.
Stick to the plan, and there won't be any trouble.
Aye.
Don't have a plan? Join the 50 Million Pound Challenge. Get started with the free tips and tools at 50millionpounds.com.
Kids always take too much. Especially when it comes to bath tissue. But with Charmin Ultra Soft, our softest ever, you can use less because Charmin Ultra Soft is more absorbent than the leading value brand, so you don't have to keep pulling. Less is even more. Our softest for sure. Charmin Ultra Soft. Look for...
She's been a friend, the mother of your children, a soulmate. Isn't it time to let that special someone know exactly how you feel? Give her the gift she always wanted. Give her a polio vaccine.
Perfect.
Whatever cause you're passionate about, give it as a gift at changingthepresent.org.
In my second season, I got hurt, and I thought the season was over. I said, man, we probably won't make the playoffs now, but my teammates rallied around each other and made the playoffs. And just then, I realized I didn't have to do it by myself. Sooner or later, we all need help. If you need cash quickly, Jackson Hewitt has the Money Now loan. It's fast, it's simple, it's money like magic. Hey, you're not alone. You've got Jackson Hewitt, a partner and a path.
Express.com.
Halle Berry is Alex Haley's Queen, starting February 8th on TV One.
After his years at Harvard Law School, graduating magna cum laude, Barack Obama was among the very best and most sought-after law school graduates in the country. He received a book contract to write his memoir, Dreams from My Father. When he got back from Chicago, Barack Obama met the future love of his life, a Southside Chicago native, Michelle Robinson. She was his mentor at a corporate law firm where he worked as a summer associate during law school. Although he was not interested in corporate law, Barack was very interested in Michelle. After refusing to go out with him for a month, Michelle finally agreed to go out for dinner, and they soon fell in love. In October of 1992, Barack and Michelle were wed by Reverend Jeremiah Wright at the Trinity United Church of Christ. His daughter Malia was born in 1998, and Sasha was born in 2001.
We grew up in a little bitty apartment on the south side of Chicago. My father had a severe disability. You know, no silver spoons, no magic, just parents who tried their best to give the next generation something a little bit more. We were taught that we have to work hard and then give back. You know, we have an obligation to help others. You know, so much of who I am is grounded in that upbringing. When I connected with Barack and realized I could marry this man, it was because I saw the same thing in his upbringing that I saw in mine. And I got married to a person that I respected, and we worked hard to raise a good family and teach them good values. And we've built our lives around service and giving back and foregoing big salaries and staying connected to a community.
They're a great couple. You can see the love that they have for each other. And I think one of the great things is to be able to see African-American husband and wife show affection on the national stage. Is just, I think it's going to do outstanding things for our country, for our community, and for the world.
In 2007, February, Ebony featured Michelle and Barack Obama on our February issue, which is our Black Love, Black History annual issue, and really the most popular issue during the year. And that year we had enough foresight to feel like Michelle and Barack were the perfect couple to personify Black love.
We learned how to sustain our relationship at a distance, which is why carving out that time, making sure we have Friday or Saturday date nights, and making sure that it's not just going to a movie, because you can't talk at a movie, Roland. We usually go out to dinner, and what I found, which is interesting, is that our girls like it. They like the fact that they know that we love each other.
They see intimacy.
That gives them security. So sometimes you lose sight of that when you think, well, as long as we're taking care of the kids are okay. Well, the kids want you to have a life together. They want to know that my mother and father love each other, and if they love each other that much, they're going to love me. People are relieved to see themselves reflected in us. Our family story, me, Barack, our girls, is comforting to many people.
Once I started to see the two little girls in the picture, I realized that, look, this is a first family that America truly deserves.
After settling into married life, Barack Obama believed he was ready to serve his community as a political leader. During Barack Obama's early years in the Illinois State Senate, Republicans dominated the state legislature, and as a Democrat, he became frustrated in his limited role.
Well, I had suggested when he first came to the Illinois Senate, if you want to be successful in this body, get to know people who don't look like you or come from a different region of the state. And he did that quite well in the Illinois Senate.
In the year 2000, he made the fateful decision to run for the U.S. congressional seat held by longtime popular incumbent Bobby Rush. But folks, in a tough campaign, he was attacked as an outsider and an elitist from an upscale neighborhood.
Barack was running against Bobby Rush, who is an authentic hero of the civil rights story in this country.
When Senator Obama told me that he was planning to run for Congress against Bobby Rush, I did point out that running against an incumbent congressman is never easy.
I found out, through the press that Barack had decided to run against me. And so we decided that we were going to teach the young man a real lesson. And we did.
In the Democratic primary election, Barack Obama lost badly by a 2-to-1 margin. However, the valuable lessons learned from that defeat would serve him very well in his future run in politics.
When Barack Obama lost his race for Congress, he was very discouraged. That's understandable. It's not a happy feeling. You feel that you let yourself down, you let your friends down, and he was giving serious thought to leaving politics. Or at least that's what he said when he called me.
He said you learned a lot from that race, you know, and that's good. Because I think that, you know, I had to learn how to win by first losing.
After suffering a major setback in the 2000 congressional race against Bobby Rush, Barack Obama was not sure about his future in politics.
I remember they said to me, no, I'm not going to do the congressional race again, but I'm really looking at running for U.S. Senate in 2004.
After convincing his family and friends and assembling a first-rate campaign team, Barack Obama announced he was running in the 2004 election for U.S. Senator from Illinois.
When we first started running, people were certain that I could not win a statewide race because my name was too funny. People couldn't pronounce it. It looked like Osama. But I always had this faith in the voters and in people. And my attitude was, you know what, if people get to know me, if they know who I am, if I know that I've got a set of shared values with them, it's not going to make a difference. You know, we won 50% of the vote in a 7-person field. I mean, we won not just the black vote, we won the white vote fairly handily.
Following his impressive primary win, Democratic presidential nominee John Kerry took note and invited Obama to give the keynote address at the 2004 Democratic National Convention in Boston.
There is not a liberal America and a conservative America. There is the United States of America. There is not a black America and a white America and Latino America and Asian America. There's the United States of America. America, tonight, if you feel the same energy that I do, if you feel the same urgency that I do, if you feel the same passion that I do, if you feel the same hopefulness that I do, if we do what we must do, then I have no doubt that all across the country, from Florida to Oregon, from Washington to Maine, the people will rise up and this country will reclaim its promise, and out of this long political darkness, a brighter day will come. Thank you very much, everybody. God bless you.
Oh, look at that. I just don't seem to sweat anymore.
Everybody sweats, especially now during tax time.
Oh, I don't worry about my taxes. I got people.
People? What if something goes wrong? That'll get some beads going.
Nope. My people take the heat.
The H&R Block Guarantee. We guarantee our accuracy, or we'll pay any resulting penalties and interest to the IRS, and stand behind you if you get audited.
I lost 40 pounds on Jenny Craig, and I didn't feel hungry.
My secret? The volumetrics menu, and it's the newest thing from Jenny. See, with Jenny, you get to eat bigger, healthier meals, so you can control your hunger and feel more satisfied while you're losing weight.
Here's how it works. A Jenny Craig meal with volumetrics compared to a typical meal. Both are equal calories. The choice is obvious. Now lose 20 pounds for $20 plus the cost of food. Start the new year off right. Call 1-800-JENNY20.
Find out more about the volumetrics menu. Call Jenny today.
Hey, baby, how you doing? Good. You know, melanin makes your skin uniquely beautiful, but dark marks and uneven tone are also more noticeable. Ambi Even & Clear Daily Moisturizer is designed specifically for women of color with even bodies. A unique combination of natural soy plus vitamin C and E. It helps restore and maintain our skin's natural beauty. So don't wait any longer. Get Ambi Even & Clear Daily Moisturizer. Ambi, the color of flawless skin.
Your Chase card has a unique built-in fraud monitoring system. So online or off, you're protected. Protection matters. Chase what matters.
I'm Roland Martin, and you're watching 24-hour coverage of the inauguration of President Barack Obama. This is our history.
I have a dream. Yes, we can.
This is our time on TV One. On a frigid day in February 2007 in Springfield, Illinois, Barack Obama announced his candidacy for President of the United States.
I stand before you today to announce my candidacy for President of the United States of America.
Well, the primary election was
sort of interesting. You knew from the very beginning that it was going to be historical. You had an African American running that seemed to be a little bit different from African Americans who had run before. You had a woman running that seemed a little bit different from the women who had run before. And so the conventional wisdom was that this was going to be a change election.
Look, I'm not running because of long-held ambitions. I'm not running because I think it's my turn. I'm running because of what Dr. King calls the fierce urgency of now. The fierce urgency of now.
Throughout that year, the Obama campaign assembled a nationwide network of dedicated volunteers, and they broke fundraising records by mastering the internet. Early on, Obama trailed Senator Hillary Clinton by large margins in national polls and struggled against doubt and criticism. Most frustrating and annoying is somehow Barack Obama wasn't black enough.
If Barack isn't black enough, then I'm not. And if we're not, well, then what's the definition?
Early on, supporting Senator Obama was a somewhat lonely position within the Democratic caucus. It was a lonely position within the Congressional Black Caucus. It will probably shock our children and future scholars that the Congressional Black Caucus lagged in support for the first black president of the United States.
But Obama believed that America was ready to support him as the embodiment of the message of hope, unity, and change, especially young people of all races and backgrounds who were his most enthusiastic supporters from the beginning.
Oh, look at this. Thank you. What up? What up? What's been so inspiring is not just the size of the crowds, but it's something Elijah referred to. It's the makeup of the crowds, because it's people from all walks of life. You've got candidates who say, well, I know how to play the game in Washington better. But I've got to explain to them, I'm running because I'm going to put an end to the game playing, because the times are too serious and the stakes are too high. We need something new, and that's the reason that I am running for the presidency of the United States of America.
Young volunteers and activists played a key role in the Iowa caucus, the first real test of the campaign. Barack Obama amazed the political world by winning the Iowa caucus in a state that's 95% white. After that, he silenced many doubters who had to reassess all their previous assumptions about whether America was ready for change.
There was a strategy that was put in place to compete against Hillary Clinton and the Clinton juggernaut. And it was all revolving around Iowa. And one of the things I give Barack real credit for was during the toughest of times, when it didn't look like we were maybe going to win, we were falling behind in the polls, Barack helped us stay the course and made all of us believe that the strategy they had put in place was the right one. And it's so easy when things aren't going well to get distracted and get pushed off course. He didn't do that. He kept us really focused on the Iowa strategy. His team stayed focused on that Iowa strategy, and ultimately that prevailed. And I think that was the key to, beating this powerful political competitor, the Clinton family.
After Iowa, when he got all those white votes, then you start hearing people say, well, can he win black votes in South Carolina and other places where the black vote would be very, very important? He came into South Carolina with that question mark hanging over his candidacy. And, of course, it was emphatically answered.
Once the primary season started, then those who were not with Barack started to realize that their districts were trending overwhelmingly for Barack Obama to be the president. And being elected officials and politicians as we are, they began to realize that perhaps they had picked wrong.
I just knew after South Carolina that he would be on the ticket. It was only after North Carolina, when he ran away with the field, that's when I knew he was going to be the nominee of our party.
We support Barack Obama, steady rocking all night long. We need to vote Barack
This moment, this election is our chance to keep, in the 21st century, the American promise alive. I realize that I'm not the likeliest candidate for this office. I don't fit the typical pedigree, and I haven't spent my career in the halls of Washington. But I stand before you tonight because all across America, something is stirring. What the naysayers don't understand is that this election has never been about me. It's about you. "45 years ago today, brought Americans from every corner of this land to stand together on a mall in Washington before Lincoln's memorial and hear a young preacher from Georgia speak of his dream. At this moment, in this election, we must pledge once more to march into the future. Let us keep that promise, that American promise, and in the words of Scripture, hold firmly, without wavering, to the hope that we confess. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless the United States of America.
It was tested and tested again. The Kia Sedona was the first minivan to earn both the Insurance Institute's top safety pick and the government's 5-star crash safety rating in all 4 categories. The Kia Sedona. No other minivan has a higher safety rating.
The Kia Sedona, starting under $16,800 after $5,000 cash back.
I can't stop telling people about my hair. It's awesome. I've never used a relaxer that's left my hair so healthy. I think organic root stimulator olive oil has to be the best relaxer out there. My hair is unbelievable. It's so shiny. And with no breakage, it's longer and more manageable. Any way I style it, it's fabulous. Like me.
Organic root stimulator. Nature's secret to healthy hair.
This is my accounting system. Unpaid invoices on the purple ones. Still evolving.
Our sales figures. They're all right here.
I designed my own spreadsheet. Nice, right? No?
There's an easier way to manage your business. With Intuit QuickBooks software, you can easily create invoices, track sales, and manage payroll all in one place. Intuit QuickBooks. Get back to business. Try some.
Hi, I'm Ronnie Deutsch, and I'm here to tell you, yes, you can do something about your IRS tax problem, and yes, you can get help to fight the IRS.
Ronnie saved me $150,000.
Ronnie saved us over $500,000.
Saved me $250,000.
And yes, you can call me right now.
If you owe the IRS, call Ronnie right now for your free and confidential tax analysis. Call 800-517-2561. Call 800-517-2561.
These days, even basic needs like gas and groceries cost so much. There is a way to relieve some of those expenses and help save lives at the same time. Biomat USA will compensate you for donating life-saving plasma, which is used for medications to treat the critically ill. It's an easy way to raise money and give the gift of life to those who need it most. Remember, you can earn cash and save a life at Biomat USA. Call 354-0965 today for more information.
Now.
When Barack started his campaign with signs that said hope on them, with hope in the big letters and his name in the small, people were like, what kind of campaign sign is this? Is this guy crazy? He's supposed to put his name all over it first. How can you build a campaign if your name isn't the first thing that people see? And if you look at the campaign Barack has run, there's a level of organization, passion, and commitment from staff, volunteers on down. Clearly, Barack's ascendancy represents that if you follow your heart, your passion, your intuition, and you still operate on a level of excellence that's unparalleled, anything can happen.
I like to think that there are at least a couple of things that people can take away from watching me run this campaign. Number one, I'm a pretty good manager. We had to start this organization from scratch, competing against organizations that had been built 20 years ago. And I think it's fair to say that on most of the indicators, how we've raised money, how we've spent money, how we've built an organization, how we've staffed, that we've probably had the best managed campaign in either the Republican or Democratic field. And part of that is that I hire good people and, trust them to make good decisions, but I hold them accountable. I think a second thing people can learn is that I don't believe in a lot of drama in my organizations, whether that's a campaign organization or hopefully if I'm running a White House. And so you haven't seen a lot of backbiting or a lot of stories about people, going to the press off record to undermine others. Everybody's been working as a team. And I think that's really important because it means people are focused on getting the job done. We've really built a bottom-up organization. I mean, our strength has been that we raise our money in $25 and $50 donations from over 1 million donors using the internet as a way to organize across the country. Our organizations have been built through volunteers, and they're constantly giving us messages and ideas, and that kind of faith in ordinary people and their ability to make a difference and have an impact on government is a principle that I think I want to continue when I'm in the White House.
Barack is a very capable man. He's smart, he has integrity, he's passionate, and he's tough. You've seen in this campaign he has grown. Every day he just gets stronger. He's a long-distance runner.
I actually think that I've strengthened my faith during the course of this campaign. I'm much more prone to step back and ask myself, why am I doing this? What are my motivations? What does God want of me? My prayer beyond having my family cared for and protected is that I'm doing His will.
Let's bring him out right now. The next President of the United States, Barack Obama.
Let me start by noting, Virginia, that this is our last rally. This is the last rally of a campaign that began nearly 2 years ago. We've gone to every corner of this country. You shared your stories of struggle. You've spoken of your dreams. In the places I've gone and the people I've met, I've been struck again and again by the fundamental decency and generosity and dignity of men and women who work hard without complaint to meet their responsibilities every day. I've come away with an unyielding belief that if we only had a government that was as responsible as all of you, as compassionate as the American people, then there's no obstacle we can't overcome. There's no destiny we cannot fulfill. So, Virginia, I just have one word for you. Just one word. Tomorrow. Tomorrow. After decades of broken politics in Washington, 8 years of failed policies from George Bush, 21 months of campaigning, we are less than 1 day away from bringing about change in America. So I just got one question for you, Virginia. Are you fired up? Are you ready to go? Fired up. Ready to go. Fired up. Ready to go. Fired up. Ready to go. Virginia, let's go change the world. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless the United States of America.
I'd like the sirloin, chicken and pork too, all wrapped in bacon, and all for around $10.
No other place can match Golden Corral's new Applewood Grill. Sizzling sirloin, chicken, and pork, all wrapped in Applewood bacon, all for around $10. Only at Golden Corral.
Finally, experience clear, blemish-free skin with Clear Essence's skin-beautifying milk and medicated fade cream. Formulated for people of color, Wendy Fitzwilliam keeps her skin spotlessly beautiful by using the medicated fade cream, which eliminates dark spots, blemishes, and aids in the treatment of acne by evening out the skin. Clear Essence moisturize and restore it by making it smooth and clear. So come to the world of Clear Essence and see a beautiful new you shine through.
I'm there. The world changing right before my eyes. Not just witnessing the impossible, but living it. Watching it all fall apart one day, then pull itself together the next. Crying, laughing, wondering, believing, hopeful, and always grateful to know I'm not alone.
For full flavor, vegetables need to spend more time here, ripening in the sun, and less time here, being overcooked. So to create Campbell's condensed soup, our chefs don't boil it down. We just add less water to begin with. Campbell's condensed soups. Like always, they're not full of water. They're full of flavor.
So many, many reasons it's so good.
Your heaviest days have finally met their match. Introducing Always Infinity, the world's first pad made with Infinicell, an uber-absorbent material that holds 10 times its weight, which is just fancy talk for your heavy days are going down. Always Infinity. Have a happy period.
Halle Berry is Alex Haley's Queen, starting February 8th on TV One.
I'm Roland Martin, and you're watching 24-hour coverage of the inauguration of President Barack Obama. This is our history.
I have a dream. Yes, we can.
This is our time on TV One. after 8 years of George W. Bush, looking at John McCain, there was no way in the world the Democrats were going to not unite behind Obama.
We will always, always remember where we were when Barack Obama became president of the United States.
Look at this crowd. This is the best of American patriotism.
My grandmother is 96 years old, and she never would have thought it. My mother is 67 years old, and she said in her lifetime she never thought it would happen.
We have hope. Through all that adversity, we made it. Right before I left home, I kissed my 8-month-old boy and said, tonight is a historic night, and you too have a chance to become the President of the United States of America.
It's been a long time coming, but tonight, because of what we did on this day, in this election, at this defining moment, change has come to America. This election had many firsts and many stories that will be told for generations, but one that's on my mind tonight is about a woman who cast her ballot in Atlanta. She is a lot like the millions of others who stood in line to make their voice heard in this election, except for one thing. Ann Nixon Cooper is 106 years old. She was born just a generation past slavery, a time when there were no cars on the road or planes in the sky, when someone like her couldn't vote for two reasons, because she was a woman and because of the color of her skin. And tonight, I think about all that she's seen throughout her century in America, the heartache and the hope, the struggle and the progress, the times we were told that we can't, and the people who pressed on with that American creed, yes, we can. She was there for the buses in Montgomery, the hoses in Birmingham, a bridge in Selma, and a preacher from Atlanta who told the people that we shall overcome. Yes, we can. And this year, in this election, she touched her finger to a string and cast her vote. Because after 106 years in America, through the best of times and the darkest of hours, she knows how America can change. Yes, we can. America, we have come so far. We have seen so much, but there's so much more to do. This is our chance to answer that call. This is our moment. This is our time to put our people back to work and open doors of opportunity for our kids, to restore prosperity and promote the cause of peace, to reclaim the American dream and reaffirm that fundamental truth that out of many we are one, that while we breathe, we hope, and where we are met with cynicism and doubt and those who tell us that we can't, we will respond with that timeless creed that sums up the spirit of a people. Yes, we can. Thank you. God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.
For you.
During the course of his historic presidential campaign, the nation has watched Barack Obama and come to know him as a person, a candidate, and now as President of the United States. His story is an American story. It's a story of character, integrity, perseverance, and achievement. It's a story of belief in self, belief in his fellow Americans, and belief in the ideals of America. And now people all over this nation and the world believe in the inspiration of this truly American story. I'm Roland Martin. Thanks for watching Believe, the Barack Obama story.
Everybody all over.
I'm Roland Martin, political editor for TV One. We'll take a moment of personal privilege, if you will. Just like the people you saw in that video, there were many tears rolling down my face on election night. There were tears of joy, tears of relief, but mostly tears of pride. Pride in what this man had achieved as a politician, and pride in what he had achieved as a black man in America. Seeing President Barack Obama on stage with his family was a long overdue image in our society for many people. Next, we'll meet the person President Obama refers to as his best friend, his better half, his rock, Michelle Obama, the First Lady of the United States of America. Stay tuned for the award-winning In Conversation, the Michelle Obama interview. This is our history.
I have a dream. Yes, we can.
This is our time on TV One.
Why the long faces? We're freaking out about our taxes.
If I get audited, I'm toast.
You're awfully relaxed for tax time, Wilson? Yeah, I got people now.
People?
I had them dig through my return for any mistakes. I have never felt so relaxed.
This year, don't worry about your tax refund. Get every penny you have coming with the H&R Block Maximum Refund Guarantee.
Wilson has people.
Wilson has a cat.
I lost 40 pounds on Jenny Craig, and I didn't feel hungry. My secret? The volumetrics menu, and it's the newest thing from Jenny. See, with Jenny, you get to eat bigger, healthier meals, so you can control your hunger and feel more satisfied while you're losing weight.
Here's how it works. A Jenny Craig meal with volumetrics compared to a typical meal. Both are equal calories. The choice is obvious. Now lose 20 pounds for $20 plus the cost of food. Start the new year off right. Call 1-800-JENNY20.
Find out more about the volumetrics menu. Call Jenny today.
Welcome back. I'm TV One political editor Roland Martin. Michelle Obama is brilliant, beautiful, and compassionate. Now she's our First Lady. A few months ago, on the eve of the Democratic National Convention, I sat down with Mrs. Obama in her hometown of Chicago to talk about her life since her husband announced his run for the presidency. One of the things she told me was that she initially tried to talk her husband out of politics. Oh, she did. She now believes in the Obama administration the best way to make the world a better place for her to raise her two lovely daughters. I hope you enjoy meeting her. Here is, in conversation, the Michelle Obama interview. She's the wife of presidential candidate Senator Barack Obama, and she's got everyone talking about her strength, her smarts, even her style. A regal 5'11" tall, she's got the confidence that makes even her critics take notice.
As I travel this country, I am certain that we have arrived at a moment in our collective history where we're ready to move forward.
Just who is Michelle Obama? She's a product of Chicago's public schools from the city's South Side, Ivy League educated, a lawyer, wife, and mother, who put aside personal ambitions to juggle life at home and her husband's political career. Mrs. Obama just might have another title to add to the list.
The next First Lady of the nation, United States of America, Michelle Obama.
Hi, I'm Roland Martin. In the next hour, I'll sit down with Michelle Obama to get her take on how she maintains family life on the campaign trail, what it would feel like to be the first African-American First Lady, how this historic election has changed her life, and how an Obama win may change America. Michelle Obama, certainly thank you for joining us here at TV1.
Thanks for having me.
4 years ago, this time, you were preparing for a speech in Boston as the wife of a U.S. Senate candidate. Now you're preparing to head to Denver as the wife of a potential president. What would a difference 4 years makes?
Absolutely. I mean, that's why I was like, 4 years? What happened 4 years ago? I can't remember what happened yesterday. But, yeah, it's been an amazing year and a half for us.
This was not something that you were jumping at doing. I mean, a lot of folks, let's just be honest, a lot of politicians, they really aspire to run. Spouses say, let's do it. Yeah. Your deal was like, what are you talking about?
It was more like, please don't do this. Please, honey, can't we do something else? Let's not do it and say we did. But yeah, that was my first reaction. And but the truth is that has been my reaction to Barack's involvement in politics generally. I mean, I think I spent most of my marriage trying to talk him out of this at every race when he was thinking about running for the state senate. I was like, oh, come on, you can't be serious. Can you really make change through politics? But at every turn, I had to sort of step back from the sort of personal sacrifice that fueled my initial response, and think more broadly, and think about the future, and think about the kind of world that I would want for my girls. I mean, at the very heart of my motivation for supporting Barack is my girls, and the kind of world that I want to hand over to them, and the kind of people that I want to lead the world. And when I think about that broader scheme, I think there's nobody in this world that I would want, nobody with the kind of character, the intellect, the capacity than Barack. So I started thinking, well, the sacrifice I'm making is nothing compared to what we can do for these kids. So here we are.
Let's talk about you as well as Senator. You guys have been talking before a couple of large crowds. I mean, a few people. Just a few people. Yeah. The dinner party. What do you think has been the impact? Why people have responded the way they have to his candidacy and what he is saying this year?
From my vantage point, folks are hungry for change, and it's a direct result of how hard it's become for folks in their everyday lives. I mean, the thing that has struck me most about traveling around this country, and it has been a joy, a complete joy, but you see how hard people are working. Folks are doing exactly what we ask of them. Folks are working 2-3 jobs. This is the average person, right? Their salary is getting them less. They're getting further and further behind on their bills. Every American that I know either is dealing with or has someone close to them that is dealing with some medical health care crisis, not being able to pay the bills, not being able to get to a doctor. Folks are afraid about this war and about our future as a leader in the world. So folks are really feeling the impact of 8 years without a real solid domestic policy. And I think people know that we can't keep doing the same thing the same way and expect a different result.
This campaign, have you been amazed at how people have received the message of your husband when he's been speaking, but even when you've been on the campaign trail?
Yeah, it has been an uplifting experience for me personally, particularly as someone who comes to politics with a level of cynicism, right? People have been...
A little bit?
Little bit. But people have been open and decent, kind, whether they're supporting Barack or not. Every single little town, city I've gone into, people have been just really trying to listen. And they're trying to figure this out. And they're trying to understand who these candidates are. And they're trying to get their kids engaged. And they are excited again about the prospect of what our democracy can do. And that's been something that I don't honestly, I can't say that I would have expected that at the outset. But I think that's been a good thing to witness.
Coming up next, Michelle Obama discusses the values she learned as a child and why she left a lucrative job as a lawyer to pursue a career in public service.
We were taught that we have to work hard and then give back. You know, we have an obligation to help others. That's sort of the simplicity of my life.
Every day, people with type 2 diabetes are doing more to find a healthy balance with diet, exercise, and the once daily pill, Januvia. Januvia is different and works in two ways. It helps your body increase the insulin made in your pancreas and decrease sugar made in your liver to lower blood sugar. Plus, Januvia is not likely to cause weight gain. Januvia should not be used in patients with type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis and has not been studied with insulin. Your doctor may perform blood tests periodically to check your kidneys. If you have kidney problems, a lower dose may be prescribed. Tell your doctor right away and stop taking Januvia if you have an allergic reaction that causes swelling of the face, mouth, or throat, or affects your breathing or causes rash or hives. Side effects may include upper respiratory infection, stuffy or runny nose, and sore throat and headache. Using Januvia and a sulfonylurea together may cause low blood sugar. To reduce this risk, your doctor may prescribe a lower dose of the sulfonylurea. So talk to your doctor about a different way. Januvia.
Studies show that kids who eat meals with their family are more likely to feel that their parents are proud of them. At Stouffer's, we believe that family dinner is so important. Made with real ingredients and no preservatives, Stouffer's helps you make something that's good in so many ways.
You have everything?
Stouffer's. Let's fix dinner.
Congratulations, fifth place.
TV1's inaugural ball coverage tonight starting 10 p.m. Eastern.
I'm Roland Martin, and you're watching 24-hour coverage of the inauguration of President Barack Obama. This is our history.
I have a dream. Yes, we can.
This is our time on TV1. The Obama family resides here in Chicago's posh and racially diverse Hyde Park. And although Mrs. Obama's childhood home in South Shore is not far away, the one-bedroom apartment she grew up in a predominantly black neighborhood is worlds away.
I am not supposed to be here. Black girl raised on the south side of Chicago. There was nothing in my life trajectory that would have me standing here.
Michelle's parents were working class. Her mother, a secretary and homemaker. Her father, a city pump operator and Democratic precinct captain. Early on, they taught their daughter and her older brother, Craig, the value of hard work and the importance of a good education. Marion Robinson, Michelle's mother, describes her daughter as being a smart, down-to-earth young woman who she encouraged to think independently.
You talked about background when you spoke at the Trumpet Awards in Atlanta. I was struck in that speech where you really laid out growing up on the south side of Chicago in terms of the house that you lived in, watching your father go to work every day, your mom as well. Talk about that a bit, what that kind of story means in the larger scheme of this campaign.
Well, you know, so much of who I am is grounded in that upbringing. You know, we grew up in a little bitty apartment on the south side of Chicago. My mother still lives in the house that we grew up in.
Oh, it's a small apartment because, you know, listen to some of the critics. I mean, you grew up rich with a silver spoon in your mouth.
You know, I mean, and that's the sort of the curious thing. You just sort of have to think, you know, sometimes you listen to this stuff and think, well, who are you talking about? Was that supposed to be me? But my father was a shift worker. He worked for the city all his life, same job. And as I've told people know my father had multiple sclerosis. My father had a severe disability. You know, no silver spoons, no magic, just parents who tried their best to give the next generation something a little bit more. And I think how that impacts this campaign is that our stories are the quintessential American stories. You know, what my father worked for, his desires, you know. He was never asking for a handout. He was willing to work. but he just wanted a little fairness and an opportunity to know that his efforts could lead to something better for his kids. And he was able to do that as early as my generation. But now we're moving into a period where men like my dad might not be able to give their kids what he gave us. And it doesn't have anything to do with their willingness to work. The opportunities have just changed for people. And I think that that's why those stories connect. I mean, whether you're a farmer in Iowa, whether you've grown up in the inner city, you know, whether you're living in a suburb in the Northwest, those are the values of this country, and those are the hopes and dreams that people are trying to grasp onto, and they hear those dreams expressed in our stories in a way that resonates.
Michelle was never afraid to use her mind. An A student at Whitney M. Young, a prestigious magnet high school, she went on to receive degrees from Princeton and Harvard Law. As an attorney, Michelle practiced at Sidley Austin, where she was a part of the firm's marketing and intellectual property practice. In 1988, while at Sidley Austin, she met and mentored a summer intern at the firm, also from Harvard Law, her future husband, Senator Barack Obama. 16 years and 2 kids later, Senator Obama still calls her my life, my rock, my foundation.
Where's my wife? Ken, you got my wife, Ken?
In 1991, Michelle left corporate law to work in the Chicago city government. 2 years later, she made another change, following her heart and beginning a lengthy career in public service.
When you're a kid living in a little bitty apartment, going to public school, seeing your father work every day and sacrifice, not complain, we were taught that we have to work hard and then give back. You know, we have an obligation to help others. That's sort of the simplicity of my life. Nothing more, nothing less. And when I connected with Barack and realized I could marry this man, it was because I saw the same thing in his upbringing that I saw in mine.
You talk about those values. Let's look at education. Going from Chicago public schools and going on to Ivy League institutions. When you hear people say, oh, she's elitist, he's arrogant, they went to these kinds of schools. First thing that comes to mind to me is, I would think every parent will want their child to go to the best schools in the country, to get one of the best educations in the country. And so how do you deal with that, knowing full well the kind of life that you had growing up, and then when you hear it discussed on television and radio and in print, it sounds like it's a whole different world.
Well, you know, I mean, I've always felt over the course of this year that there are two conversations going on. There's the conversation that happens in the press and the pundits and the polls, and then there's how people are really thinking and feeling on the ground. And what my sense is that people completely understand our story. You're right. Most Americans are striving to give their kids what my dad gave us. And we have to be careful not to make that dream sound silly, because that's what we've said America is about. So, you know, my desire is to, you know, push through those sort of ridiculous criticisms and to make sure that people understand that, you know, this is where we want our kids to be. You know, whether it's Princeton or the community college down the street, or whether it's, you know, making sure that our kids are prepared to take on good jobs in unions or whatever it is. You know, we want to make sure that we have a broad cross-section of opportunities for young people so that they can establish a good foundation for themselves and move the next generation forward.
In 2007, she took time off from her most recent job as a vice president at the University of Chicago Hospitals to support her husband in an intense and lengthy presidential campaign. And now that the stakes have risen, she travels across the country making speeches, fundraising, and encouraging citizens to get out and vote.
Campaigners call your role as the closer in the campaign. How do you see it? Because, I mean, obviously, spouses play a critical role in any presidential campaign. So how have you sort of seen it and defined exactly what your place is?
You know, the only thing I've really tried to do is give people a broader insight into who Barack is, as not as a candidate, but as a man, as a father, as a husband, and I just want people to get some good insight into who we are, what are our values, how were we raised. I want people to know what kind of communities we grew up with, and what our parents did and what they taught us about how to treat others, people with respect and decency. Because I think ultimately people want to believe that they want to know that they can trust the people who are going to be leading the country. And in order to feel that trust, people have to have a sense of connection. Are you like me? Will you understand my challenges? So I try to be as open and honest about, how we were raised, how we think about our role as parents. What are our hopes and dreams for not just our kids, but the children in this country? So, I tend to stay on those issues because that's my expertise as far as this campaign goes.
Next, Michelle Obama on keeping family first and her marriage on fire.
This family is not just, two folks raising kids, but it's two people building a life together. So for all the parents out there, have your date nights because it's important to kids to know that their parents are connected.
Brought to you by Verizon Wireless, America's largest and most reliable 3G network.
Hey, we're the Colorios. That's my wife Frances. It's Bobby Jr. That's my best friend Gary. He's like a brother to me. That's my brother Richie. He's more like a cousin. Uncle Ray. He's not my real uncle, but he doesn't owe me money, so he's a keeper. So can I call him? As much as you want.
Call more people? Use 0 minutes with Verizon Wireless. Now America's largest mobile-to-mobile calling family. Over 80 million strong. And right now get great messaging phones on sale, like the NV2 for $49.99 at Verizon Wireless.
I'd like the sirloin, chicken and pork too, all wrapped in bacon, and all for around $10.
No other place can match Golden Corral's new Applewood Grill. Sizzling sirloin, chicken, and pork, all wrapped in Applewood bacon, all for around $10. Only at Golden Corral.
Wow, she's lovely.
Finally, the secret to anti-wrinkle, blemish-free skin for women of color. Adorate all-natural herbal skincare products with UV ray protection for strong, beautiful women on the go. Stop the signs of aging with Adorate anti-wrinkle, anti-blemish control scrub and reduce the appearance of stretch marks with brightening stretch mark cream. With each purchase, part proceeds are donated to charities helping children with AIDS.
Feeling stuffed up? Unstuff yourself with Afrin No Drip. It's got the best medicine to open nasal passages. Afrin, the best stuff to unstuff.
Out of many, we are one.
Blair Underwood hosts Barack Obama, the man.
We're enjoying the moment. It's great. So tell us a little bit about where you've come here.
Well, 2007 was a terrible year for me.
Okay.
I had bouts with substance abuse and homelessness, separated from my family. And but for 2008, I decided to turn my life around. I made a decision the first of the year to change my life, and I've been operating on the faith. So, I did all the things to bring me to this year. Urban League have helped me. I'm gainfully employed now, and, I'm working towards being a productive member of society.
And this is what change looks like. It looks beautiful. It looks alive. It looks prosperous. You look like you're looking to the future just like the rest of us.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. When you do the right thing, good things come to you.
You ready to party? You ready to dance? I am ready to party. I am ready. Oh, good. So we've got lots of beautiful people with lots of beautiful stories. We thank you so much, a mother and her daughter in this moment.
Yes.
Can you believe it?
I can't believe it. It's great.
I don't think I have enough mascara for all the crying I've been doing. No. I need a touch-up. It's amazing.
Yes,
it's amazing.
It is wonderful. It's a beautiful thing.
It's been a wonderful experience. Okay, Jackie, you tell us what you're doing, and we're going to have some more stories soon to come.
All right, thank you, Michaela. And now joining me is the lovely Sonia Stone from one of my favorite shows that's not on the air anymore, The Wire. You look amazing.
Doctor promptly, as these may be signs of a rare but potentially life-threatening condition called TTP, which has been reported rarely, sometimes in less than 2 weeks after starting therapy. Other rare but serious side effects may occur.
If you take Plavix with other heart medicines, continuing to do so will help increase your protection against a future heart attack or stroke beyond your other heart medicines alone. You may be feeling better.
I can't tell you how many people have come up to Michelle and myself and said, you know, I was kind of skeptical. But then my daughter, she wouldn't budge. She just told me I needed to vote for Obama. Suddenly I saw my son, he was out volunteering and traveling and knocking on doors and getting involved like never before. And so a new generation inspired previous generations, and that's how change happens in America. It doesn't just happen in elections and campaigns. It's happened in service all across America. Young people getting involved in Teach for America and AmeriCorps, people teaching in schools and working in community organizations, joining the Peace Corps. And as this is broadcast all around the world, we know that young people everywhere are in the process of imagining something different than what has come before. Where there is war, they imagine peace. Where there is hunger, they imagine people being able to feed themselves. Where there's disease, they imagine a public health system that works for everybody. Where they imagine bigotry, they imagine togetherness. The future will be in your hands if you are able to sustain the kind of energy and focus that you showed on this campaign. I promise you that America will get stronger and more united, more prosperous, more secure. You are going to make it happen. And Michelle and I thank you from the bottom of our hearts. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Hit it, band.
have to all night long go from inaugural ball to inaugural ball and everybody watch me not know how to dance. I think his dancing has improved over the last couple. She's awesome as obviously.
I don't know how you can't with all these balls going on. I mean,
Friday. Prepare.
Seconds now per ball, in and out.
They're taking the magic carpet.
Yeah, this is a guy that does, his politics start tomorrow. I don't even think he feels too terribly. I think many of them do in these. Maybe we could change this thing. But
didn't he go to work for a little while today, though, Brett?
Oh, yeah.
He did. Well, I mean, his staff was at work. Rahm Emanuel, chief of staff, came out with, said that all regulations, federal regulations, would be put on hold until review. So the staff was working while he was at the parade review stand.
You know, at one point we were led to believe that he might go over to the Oval Office prior to going to the review stand, but we were kind of watching his movements today, and I got the impression that actually did not happen.
They were running late all day.
They had
Set. Ike. Charmin Ultra Strong. Look.
Moment to see the family, the first family, celebrating here in this open setting.
And you were at the swearing in today. How did that feel?
It was amazing to me, not only the events that were obvious to the people who witnessed it on television, but walking up and down the streets, it was as if the ground shifted up under the feet of this nation. A paradigm shift in some way has occurred in the soul of America, and it's encouraging to see Democrats, Republicans, blacks, whites, Hispanics walking together, helping each other across the street, doing so many wonderful things. It felt real good.
And lastly, I know you've got your family with you. You've been here for a few days. How's the whole weekend been here in Washington, D.C. for the inauguration?
It was absolutely of paramount importance to me that I bring as many of my family as I could, and particularly my youngest son, so that this could be
8,800, and remember, don't be a victim twice.
What's essential to American life comes from people who work in American chemistry. AmericanChemistry.com.
This is a medical alert. Have you or a loved one been diagnosed?
Plus, it's enriched with essential vitamins.
Get complete
organizations or started their very own. And this feeling of wanting to make a difference transcended all the barriers of race, religion, and even age. For proof of that, look no further than 16-year-old Jermaine Crawford. Now, you may know him as Dookie on the television series The Wire, the show I love. Now, Jermaine was so inspired by Obama's message that he helped to organize what turned out to be one of the hottest tickets of the inaugural weekend. Now, here's a look at what happened on Saturday at the Hope Ball.
Well, the Hope Inaugural Youth Ball is something that my mom, as well as her friends, put together. And we decided to do a youth ball that was dedicated towards the youth from age ranges 4 to 25. And there was nobody else doing anything to celebrate Obama's election for that age bracket. We're giving the proceeds to teenage homelessness across the country. We're keeping it family-friendly and young.
when we started planning this.
I'm Gemma Kidd. Great fashion starts with great makeup.
Heard that, no Jamas. We got no more Baraki rolled ice cream. We can't hear none of that. So what? No, we can't. No, we can't. Now this next artist is a real international player. Put your hands together for my man, Akon.
Put your hands up high if you represent peace and what Obama stands for.
I was trying to track him down. Also, we're going to talk to Washington, D.C.'s mayor after the break.
Critics call Newtown the first genuinely funny movie of 2009.
No way. Yes way.
It's Legally Blonde meets Sweet Home Alabama.
You can't pee outside.
Chapman Cole. Friend request accepted. Dentine, make FaceTime.
The best way to predict the future
is to create it. Discover the power to create a new future for your skin. Only Aveeno Positively Radiant Moisturizer has total soy, combining the best of...
Now, Washington is being called, get this, Hollywood on the Potomac. It's like the ultimate A-list of celebrities. Alfred Woodard, Spike Lee, Tiger Woods, Mariah Carey, Blair Underwood, Stevie Wonder, saw Denzel today, P. Diddy. I could go on and on.
But one of the most star-studded events of the entire week happened Friday night at DC nightclub called Love. It was hosted by Jay-Z, and the place was packed with Obama supporters. And TV One's cameras were there to bring you this exclusive look inside Jay-Z's inaugural party.
As these may be signs of a rare but potentially life-threatening condition called TTP, which is
Generation of young designers will use this moment as inspiration, the optimism, and it will be reflected in Michelle's wardrobe. I think it's interesting that she's followed course. She's followed the course of many first ladies wearing white on this very special night. Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis wore Oleg Cassini in 1961, that was white. James Galanos on Nancy Reagan in 1981, Oscar de la Renta on Laura Bush in 2005, all wore white dresses. And even as far back as Mary Todd Lincoln in 1861, she also wore white to the inauguration of President Abraham Lincoln.
I also feel that Michelle dresses like us. She's 45 years old. She dresses in a feminine, glamorous way that is very realistic. She understands how to mix up designers high and low. And it's been a long time since someone has been sexy in the White House and youthful and vibrant with their fashion choices in the White House. And, you know, we've seen a lot of buttoned-up first ladies, and this is a great moment for me.
Nissan. You won't say on your Nissan, I will want Nissan. Alan Highway Gonzalez, today.
I hope to work just one job.
I love the designer sale. Chef, yeah, that's right. We have Mayor Adrian Fenty here with us. How exciting of a day.
Barack Obama speaking a language to that audience which...
He1 will teach you everything about the Jeffersons.
Weezy, answer me!
And give you a truckload of laughs with Sanford & Son.
Watch it, sucker!
The Jeffersons and Sanford & Son. Weeknights on TV1. Allie.
How y'all doing? You look good.
Together a project that's doing just that, right? Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, today, you know, Barack Obama pledged his service to this country. And so we thought that it'd be a good idea to have all of our friends and ourselves and all of our community and everybody out there pledge their dedication to service to the country. So we put together a little project of just people talking about what they can do, give, or sacrifice to improve the quality of humanity. So,
you know, we look at it that this is the time. This is our moment. The energy is there, and it only requires us to take action because we want to be the change that we see. So let's just show what we got.
That's great. Can we see what it is you guys worked on?
You bet.
Yeah, let's throw it out.
Okay, check this out.
Supporting Feeding America and our local food bank.
I pledge.
I pledge to smile more, to laugh more, to love more.
I pledge to volunteer more of my time to help children battling serious illnesses.
With the Art of Elysium.
I pledge to be a great mother.
To be a great father.
To continue working with UNICEF to make this world a better place for all of our children. To be the voice for those that have no voice.
I pledge.
I pledge.
To consider myself an American, not an African American.
To always represent my country with pride, dignity, and honesty.
I pledge to go to usaservice.org and find a service project that I am passionate about.
I pledge allegiance to the funk, to the united funk of Funkadelica.
Wow, that's incredible. You guys got a lot of powerful people to make pledges. And, and some of the pledges could be personal. Somebody said they want to be a better father. You don't know, right?
I mean, because that's the reality is that being of service is just about giving. And that comes down to the small things. And we remember that giving is serving. It's a lot easier to take on the bigger task, to take us out of our comfort zone.
Yeah, and if you want to see the whole thing, you can go to mtv.com. And if you want to leave your pledge, you can go to MySpace and leave your pledge as to what you're going to do to make this country a better country and serve our president.
What's your pledge?
You know what, guys? Thank you for stopping by. Hang out with us a little bit, okay? All right? Great of you guys. Put in your
great night.
Absolutely. We got a lot of projects we're going to unveil by the end of the show, so we got to check the progress right now in La Honda, Kenya, where volunteers with Millennium Promise have been working nonstop to build a computer lab for all the kids that are over there. I'm going to check in with Tim Cass. Tim, what's going on?
Welcome back to Kenya, Africa. We've been in the remote village of La Honda since before sunrise, working to change the lives of young people here today. A computer lab, the first of its kind for this area, is swiftly being completed right behind me as local workers race to meet the arrival of the area's school children. Some of whom are walking more than 8 kilometers through rough terrain just to get here. Now, it's important to note that with all the incredible changes happening at the school, these children will not wake up to a utopia tomorrow, but with hard work and a continued hope, small steps can make a huge difference. And no one knows this better than Cyrus Musavi, a young volunteer who's come here to Kenya from New York's Columbia University, looking to join Millennium Promise and the people of La Honda themselves in creating change. What's up, Cyrus?
Tim.
All right, talk me through the progress that's happening right behind us.
Things are moving along fast. Clearly we have some fast painters out there. Yeah, and they're bringing the last of the computers, the wireless router, so hopefully we can get this wrapped up in time.
Okay, no rest for you. I'm going to let you get back to work. Know that everyone really appreciates your work. Nice job. And Cyrus's work is not at all surprising, given what we learned when we had a chance to meet Cyrus recently and get a sense of his commitment to help others. Check this out.
I was born in Cedar Falls, Iowa, but my family is originally from Iran, so visiting my cousins every summer there, it really changed my perspective. It made me more interested in how people around the world are living and made me want to help out people less fortunate than myself. I came over last summer and was here for 2 months in Sauri, Kenya. I ended up moving into the actual village with my translator, Joseph Okanga. We spent days just interviewing different people, mothers, children, teachers. As I spent time here, I went from just being like the guy filming people to really getting involved, becoming a part of the story myself. I saw that poverty in Africa suddenly became a series of smaller solutions that could be addressed by even small guys like myself. I started helping out whenever I could, working in schools, really being a part of the community. It's easy to be skeptical and think that a college kid can't make much of a difference or young people can't do a lot, especially in the face of these huge international issues. This computer lab is just one small example of how new technologies on a small level can really make a difference, and I'm really excited to see what's going to happen.
For Cyrus and all of us taking this journey, today the question remains, can we change the lives of these young people? Right now, the computers are being installed as we speak. The walls are being prepped and the roof is being finished. I'm going to go do my part to reach our goal, so check back with us in a little while to see if we made it.
Wow, congratulations to all the volunteers from Millennium Promise and Tim Cass, Sean Lee. You guys are doing great work over there. But don't move. The inaugural ball continues with Fallout Boy when we come right back.
A door is a door is a door, except when it's more of a portal to doing good. When you go through our doors, 5% of our...
Without a teleprompter, unlike at the Commander-in-Chief ball, when he was speaking to the troops in his element, every young person there had their camera phone taking pictures. He was in his element. If he can hold on to this vote, Democrats will be a part of a while.
Those kids fired him up.
There's no doubt about it. You could see the ease with which he speaks. I think when he was at the Commander-in-Chief ball, he was actually speaking off a teleprompter. At the neighborhood ball and at this ball, clearly he was just speaking off the cuff, and there was a level of comfort there we didn't see at some of the other balls. What happened today here in Washington was viewed around the world. We saw people from around the world here on the mall. We saw flags from all over the place. But we want to show you how people around the world literally watched today what happened. We'll show you their reactions ahead.
This is where musicians go to hear each other play. From this room, you're transported to places all over the world. That's why you come here. To be taken there. Grey Goose. World's best tasting vodka.
I used to think a multivitamin that's complete was what mattered. Then I learned 1 in 2 women will face bone or breast health issues. And 1-A-Day Women's has more calcium and vitamin D than Centrum to support bone and breast health. For me, that matters more. 1-A-Day Women.
It looks like nothing else on the road right now, proclaims GQ magazine.
Did you see that?
The interior positively oozes class, briefs Car magazine. Slick and sensuous boasts the Washington Times, and Popular Mechanics declares it...
Okay, I get it already.
I think we were in a car commercial.
The search for truth starts with questions that demand answers.
They're excited, they're energized. There seems to be a lot of people that want to do a lot of positive things, which is and the auto companies all come together.
4081 now and start protecting yourself.
Said this country was too divided, too disillusioned to ever come together around a common purpose. But on this January night, at this defining moment in history, you have done what the cynics said we couldn't do.
It is undeniable that the two leaders are linked by history.
There's a little bit of Dr. King and Barack Obama. There's a little bit of Malcolm X, as well as John F. Kennedy.
Personally, I feel if you don't understand how we are reborn with the spirits of the people, I think that you'll be lost. Because you can't tell me that Dr. King, what he laid his life down for, if he didn't, Obama would not be where he is today.
Obama is seen by many as the bridge, some going so far as to say he's the second coming of Dr. King, a man capable of furthering his vision of unity in America. But are the comparisons fair?
Barack Obama is a great man, don't get me wrong, but he is not Dr. Martin Luther King.
I think Martin Luther King was of a different time. There were different needs and demands. Martin Luther King was representative of a generation of black leaders who had to win by law and in the courts. We still didn't have a Voting Rights Act. We still didn't have the rights of accommodation. We couldn't go and eat where we wanted to. We couldn't get on the public transportation as we wanted to. He was still about access.
Barack Obama stands on the very able and sturdy shoulders of a whole tradition of black freedom fighters and politicians who have made this happen. Before we had change we could believe in and the audacity of hope, Jesse Jackson was telling us to keep hope alive. In many ways, Barack Obama follows in the tradition of Jesse Jackson, Shirley Chisholm, even Al Sharpton. He follows in the tradition of all of those people who opened up the black electorate and who put the possibility of a black president within the imaginations of the American people.
Barack Obama does not need to repeat what Dr. King did. He needs to build on what Dr. King did. This is an outgrowth. This is an evolution.
Barack Obama, however, in many ways represents an extension of Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy and Dr. Martin Luther King's sacrifice. They're part of the same genealogy, but they're not the same fruit.
I think Barack has taken the torch and said, your dream lives on, Dr. King. Your dream lives on. And I understand that with this power comes great responsibility.
It's time to raise the praise. On Sunday, January 25th at 8, BET brings you a night of inspiration.
I want to thank you for inviting me to church this evening.
The celebration of gospel, starring Mary Mary, LL Cool J, Kirk Franklin, Marvin Sapp, Kurt Cobb, Smokey Norfolk, Heather Headley, Terry Crews, Terry Vaughn, Trinity 5-7, 2103, and Dr. Bobby Jones, hosted by Steve Harvey. Premieres January 25th at 8.
College is the best time of your life? Yeah, right. I have my final exam in biology tomorrow, and I still have no clue.
Biology? No problem. Come here and I'll teach you that.
Oh, no, stop. The test tomorrow is all about the theory of biochemistry, not about its practice. I can't cover both in one night.
Sure you can. Here, have a Red Bull. It vitalizes body and mind.
Then what?
Then we start with practice and work our way back to theory.
Red Bull gives you wings.
If whitening with sun strips makes your teeth sensitive, try new Aquafresh White Trays Pro Gentle. Our system includes a toothpaste that prepares teeth, so our trays can whiten in as little as 3 days. Minimize sensitivity, maximize whitening. New Aquafresh White Trays Pro Gentle.
Pick a city, then get a 4-star hotel at a 2-star price from Hotwire.com. When 4-star hotels have unsold rooms, they use Hotwire to fill them. So you get the lowest prices guaranteed.
H-O-T-W-I-R-E, Hotwire.com.
On February 20th,
Who the hell are all these people in my house?
Medea is going to jail.
What you gonna do? Come on.
Now, the big house
Keep it up. I ain't scared of none of it.
is in big trouble.
I run this prison. I'm from the West End. I will come across this table and rip out your urethra tube.
Tyler Perry's Medea goes to jail.
You better go get that fool.
Rated PG-13. In theaters everywhere, February 20th.
That's the money you could be saving with Geico. I know. Geico.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
When we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
As we celebrate the anniversary of Dr. King's 80th birthday, America is in the midst of perhaps the most profound change in our nation's history.
Somewhere, Martin Luther King Jr. is looking on, and he's tickled pink, beyond belief, to see his dream come to fruition. Here you have a man who is half black and half white, and whose support in the electorate looks like a rainbow.
Oh, man. America's growing up. What Barack is doing, he's not trying to be Dr. King again. That's done. It's a new path that he's walking. He's made new steps for us to follow as all Americans.
I think that in the black community there has been this tremendous arc of emotion from disbelief in the beginning. There's just no way this can happen. Even among my generation, I mean, young black people who had no faith that this country could take this kind of step.
We are one people, and our time for change has come.
He encapsulates every facet of Martin Luther King's dream.
was able to crack through the establishment.
For the first time, a black man will lead this country, and a black family will inhabit the White House.
Now they're going to have to get, some different sort of papers in the White House. Everybody will know what a perm is. The specifics of the black family life might be more relevant in a more common conversation now.
Dr. King would just be shocked and amazed. He said in his last speech, I may not get there with you, but I know that we as a people will make it to the promised land.
The message is just reminding people that you can be whatever it is you want to be now. America has become America. It's not a promise. It's not a concept that you could come from nothing and become something.
New faces. Meet Tyler, Kenny, Asia, Trayson, and Etienne. And wait till you meet the parents. An all-new season of Baldwin Hills premieres January 27th at 10.
You have defied me for the last time.
Think you can defeat me?
I am your father!
I'm not a very good leader.
Underworld, Rise of the Lycans. Rated R, opens Friday.
Become one with molten chocolate. Celebrate your right to indulge. It's time for Warm Delights Minis. Just seconds in the microwave, 150 calories, and you'll see how something so many can take you so far.
By now, you've probably seen those Extends TV commercials. You know, the simple pill that can actually make a man larger and increase performance and pleasure regardless of age. Well, I saw these commercials over and over, and I thought, I really don't care if I'm larger, but performing better? Now, that could be fun. When I saw that they had sold over 1 billion capsules to millions of men all over the world, I decided there might be something to this Extends pill.
When he told me he'd bought some Extends and what it did, I thought to myself, this could be fun. Maybe we'll make love more often, have more of that old spark.
And that increase in size? Well, it was kind of fun, too.
We're so sure Extends will make you larger, we're going to give you a week's supply absolutely free. All you pay for is a postage stamp.
If Extends didn't do something pretty amazing, could we afford to do this? Call now for your free week supply of Extends. You have nothing to lose, but a lot to gain.
You might be surprised how much fun you're going to have with Extends.
Hi. It's pretty easy to see what draws me to Esurance. With my family, a job, and a pretty long commute, it's hard to find time to take care of things like auto insurance.
Let alone how much it can cost.
I chose Esurance because they save me money in no time.
With quote-by-print convenience, you can start saving in minutes.
And with hassle-free automatic payments, that's one less bill that piles up.
Get your factory quote today.
And get animated about your auto insurance with Esurance.
The scrumptious taste of Domino's oven-baked sandwiches beats Subway's in a national taste test 2-to-1. Just how much is 2-to-1? We consulted these experts.
Let's say these eyebrows represent the number of people who prefer Domino's oven-baked sandwiches. That's Subway.
2-to-1. Notice the hot, melty core.
Domino's oven-baked sandwiches. The taste that beats Subway's in a national taste test 2-to-1. Starting at $4.99. Who beats Subway in a national taste test? Domino's.
I would like to congratulate you, Mr. President, Barack Obama. 3 words. Well done, sir. Well done.
Yes! So keep watching cable's #1 sitcom on Cox at CBS. Don't change a thing. Yes! Most broadcast stations are moving to digital signals by February 17th in 09.
Booyah!
If all your TV sets are connected to Cox, there's nothing you need to do. Yeah. Just keep watching your favorite TBS programs on Cox, like Tyler Perry's House of Pain, Wednesdays at 8 on TBS. For more information, call 1-877-698-8075.
When the itch disappears, when the odor is gone, when you feel clean and fresh, you can come back to your life. That still medicated wipes bring yourself back.
For all-day relief of chronic dry, itchy skin, try Cortisone 10 Intensive Healing Formula. The strongest itch relief medicine now has 3 vitamins and 7 moisturizers for non-stop healing. Cortisone 10 Intensive Healing. Feel the heal.
You call 1-866, wrap it up.
There will be neither rest nor
the Negro is granted his citizenship rights, the whirlwinds of revolt will continue to shake the foundations of our nation until the bright day of justice emerges.
Dr. King's demands for peace and justice were echoed by millions during America's most historic election.
It's been a long time coming. But tonight, because of what we did on this day, in this election, at this defining moment, change has come to America.
It is a change that was fueled in large part by youth culture, a generation who picked up Dr. King's torch and turned out in record numbers to seal Obama's overwhelming victory.
So I remember getting his bio, and at first I thought, what kind of name is Barack Obama? And I found out that he was biracial, and I found out that he grew up in Hawaii. So my assumption was, this guy's got to be kind of weird, right?
They're extremely excited, but that's nothing compared to what is about to happen in the next few moments. Once Barack Obama is formally introduced, and then he's sworn in as the 44th President of the United States.
When I saw her, she was very crisp and professionally dressed and beautiful. I thought she was gorgeous.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President-elect of the United States, Barack H. Obama.
And then he walked into my office on that first day, and he was cuter than I thought he'd be. So that was a first positive impression.
What I noticed, though, was that as we spent the morning chatting, I noticed that she had a good sense of humor, that there was a certain wit to her and mischievous to her that appealed to me a lot. I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear.
I had to take him out to lunch on that first day, and I just found him intriguing. He was funny. He was self-deprecating. He didn't take himself too seriously. He could laugh at himself. I mean, we clicked right away.
I knew right then that she was somebody that I was gonna enjoy getting to know.
It is my great personal honor to present the 44th President of these United States, Barack Obama.
He insisted that we should go out on a date. And I thought, no, that wouldn't be the right thing to do. And he said, who cares?
We are so grateful to live in this land, a land of unequaled possibility, where the son of an African immigrant can rise to the highest level of our leadership.
She had all these theories, and I basically knocked them down one after the other.
I stand here today humbled by the task before us, grateful for the trust you have bestowed, mindful of the sacrifices borne by our ancestors.
So I said, okay, we'll go on this one date, but we won't call it a date. I'll spend the day with you.
First, I took her to the art museum, the Chicago Art Institute, to try to show that I was a cultured kind of guy.
He impressed me with his knowledge of art. And we went to lunch in one of the outdoor cafes at the Art Institute where they were playing jazz. So that was really sweet.
What if the mightiest word is love? Love that casts a widening pool of light.
And then we took a long walk, and we went to Do the Right Thing, which was a great film. And so when I saw Spike Lee at Martha's Vineyard a couple years back, I told him that he was responsible for helping me make my play on the show.
In today's sharp sparkle, this winter air, anything can be made.
Then we wound up having a drink on the 99th floor of the John Hancock building, and that gives you a beautiful view of the city. And probably by the end of that date, it was over. I was sold.
Thank you. God bless you. And God bless the United States of America.
Phenomenal day and a phenomenal courtship. Obama says they dated for a while, and he waited until a few months after he finished law school to pop the question to Michelle.
They were married in 1992 and, of course, have those two beautiful daughters, Malia and Sasha.
Well, everyone is
give him credit for.
Martin Luther King would never run for president because running for president requires you to tear out pieces of your soul and hand them to the American public.
But unlike Dr. King, who fought for human rights as an activist, Obama will carry the torch as part of the establishment. As president, he will inherit three very volatile conflicts. Can he remain committed to his anti-war stance?
Barack Obama came into the Democratic Party, which is a political apparatus, to make an impact and obtain the highest office in the Democratic Party. King couldn't do what Obama has done, and Obama couldn't do what King has done. These are parallel universes.
On January 23rd,
I read about the appearance.
the story comes to life in the movie critics are calling wildly entertaining. Inkheart is the perfect family film. Inkheart, rated PG.
Happy New Year! Welcome to Progressive.com.
Place is hopping.
It's resolution season.
Well, my resolution? Save money.
Last year, millions of people visited Progressive.com, and those who switched saved an average of over $350.
No wonder it's like a party in here.
I wrote that. Starting the new year with savings. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
What if college came to you? So you can study what you're interested in, no matter where you are. Welcome to Kaplan University. We're a different kind of university. We offer over 100 degrees and programs in fields that are clamoring for your talent. Call us now to speak with an advisor. We're a university that's using technology to rewrite the rules of education, to focus on you, to fit in your life, even adapt to how you learn, to give you access to professors with real-world experience so you can see real-world success. We're a university that's dedicated to finding and tapping into talent, your talent.
Call 866-721-6727 or visit us online for your free learning assessment. Take the first step. It's your time. Who says the dollar isn't strong? Valley has memberships for less than $1 a day with no long-term commitments. $49 enrollment fee plus first and last month's payment and card fee are due at signing. Who says the dollar doesn't go far? Valley Total Fitness, the best burn for the buck. Visit valleyfitness.com or call 1-800-FITNESS.
Time to play a game.
Saw 5, now on Blu-ray and DVD.
Take the name compatibility test right now. Text FIND to 21222. Enter both your names and you'll find out if this love was meant to be. Text FIND to 21222.
Find out if it's a perfect match. Get the answers you need anytime for $9.99 a month.
Anxious about quitting cold turkey? Make that first step easier with the Nicoderm CQ patch. Nicoderm steps you down from nicotine gradually, doubling your chance for success. Nicoderm CQ. 3 steps, 10 weeks, and you're free.
No, we are not satisfied, and we will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream.
To whom much is given, much is expected. And for those who blaze the trail for this accomplishment, one burning question remains. Will President Obama be able to balance being the President of the United States and the most powerful voice in Black America?
You tell yourself, my school will always be second rate. You tell yourself, there will never be a good job waiting for me to excel at. You tell yourself, I will never be able to afford a place that I can be proud of and call my home.
The big question which remains for so many veteran civil rights leaders is whether the new generation still is committed to helping Black people. whether poor people will still be spoken for in this new middle-class movement.
Barack Obama is going to get in, and there's obviously going to be a lot of things on the table that are going to be contrary to the existence of the black community.
I don't think that Barack Obama is going to be able to walk into office and solve all of the problems that face black America.
If he serves 4 or 8 years, and at the end of the day, we still go to jail more, we still have police brutality more, we still can't get the same jobs and the same promotion, then it was for nothing. But if we can move to change society where we're more even, that is what will breach the divide.
The community has to be mindful of the fact that one man cannot change everything. I think that they should take heart that someone who has listened and cares and knows is going to be sitting in the Oval Office.
What I would like to come from Barack's presidency is an amplified version of what got him there. If what got him there was people connected, people engaged, then amplify that. Continue the efforts of engaging people, continue the efforts of inspiring people to realize the power of self and the power of community, the power of we.
And will having a black president advance the black community's quest for economic and social equality?
When you have a black person who becomes president, what you do is open the door for the possibility that people will now say, well, look, he did it. Why can't you do it? Why do we need affirmative action?
Barack is a particular man, a specific man, in a very particular time, okay? This does not mean that white America suddenly loves black people.
We cannot make Martin Luther King's dream a nightmare just by saying Obama's president, he's going to handle it. It could end up the most horrifying dream if we don't stay engaged and stay inspired to continue to inspire the youth.
We've got some difficult days ahead, but it really doesn't matter with me now because I've been to the mountaintop. And I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place, but I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And he's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land.
And although Dr. King is no longer with us, his spirit continues to live on, his presence felt more than ever as a new day emerges.
The road ahead will be long. Our climb will be steep. We may not get there in 1 year or even in one term. But America, I have never been more hopeful than I am tonight that we will get there. I promise you, we as a people will get there.
Barack Hussein Obama takes his place in history as the 44th president of the United States.
Somewhere down the line, he has to look all of these brothers and sisters who gave their lives for the betterment of colored people, who remain guided by the spirits of all of the past martyrs who made it possible for him to be where he's at.
As America charts a bold new course.
America has shifted its consciousness and graduated from all its wrongdoings. America has graduated from all its prejudices. America has put its history, and the future is wonderful.